Sir,
Yeah, Manu.
your homework is of the last chapters, right?
No, the chapter number 4. Oh,
Uh,
sorry. You were not there for first and seventh, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. So try to solve as much as you can. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will see how we can able to revise the thing. Okay. Chapter. So let's start our theory for today. Okay. So we were on chapter number 4 dealing with networks. Yeah. In the last lecture, we were what we were doing. What topic we had completed? Guys, anyone?
Authentication.
Yeah, sure. Authentication, right? We have started with authentication. Everyone, okay. What about viruses?
No, sir. We are not yet started virus.
Okay. Okay. So what is authentication? Authentication is nothing but recognizing a user. Okay. Authentication is used to verify that the data come from secure and trusted source. Where we we do have an authentication process for our mobile, so that the mobile can understand whether it is a genuine user or a malicious hacker. Okay. So authentication is used to verify that the data comes from the secure and the trusted source. It works with an encryption to strengthen the internet security. For example, user ID and password are the authentication technique we usually have whenever you are dealing with email IDs. So we have an ID as well as password for it. There are different form of authentication. First is digital certificate. Digital certificate is a file that has a detail of ours. Okay. Uh, and it do contains our signatures, so that is why it is named as digital certificate. It is just like a certificate but in a electronic form, so it is known as digital certificate. Next is biometric. We all have a phone that senses our finger touch unlocking, right? So that is your biometric. We have face unlock for iPhone, so that becomes your biometric. Your retina scanning, that becomes your biometric. Okay. So we have a digital certificate, we have biometric, we have a magnetic strip cards. Okay. ID cards or passports. Okay. So what happens in magnetic strip ID cards? We have a ID card, we have a card, and it has a strip on it. So whenever we pass through any gate, we have to swipe that card. Getting it? So that is magnetic strip cards or ID cards. Whenever we are working in any organization, big companies, so they have ID cards given to them, and they have to swipe through all the gates they are passing through it. Okay. Same goes for passports. Okay, so passport is also a type of authentication which is used at many airports. Getting it? Okay. The magnetic strip card were covered in chapter 2. Yeah, this card has a magnetic strip on one side made up of tiny magnetic particle on a plastic film. Each particle acts as a north and south pole which corresponds to two of the binary values of zeros and one. The stripe is read by swiping through it a card reader. Sabrish, you have any problem? You're having any problem with the network?
Yes, sir. I was not able to hear you from my like I was first connected with my phone, so now I got connected with my laptop. So now I'm able to hear you.
Okay. Okay. So we usually we have a magnetic strip cards. It has a magnetic strip on one side. Yeah. So usually we find this kind of cards on our credit card and debit cards. If you can see, there is a black color magnetic strip on the back side of the card. Okay. So when you swipe that card, it has a details and the money of our account. Okay. So it has all the details of our bank account and the money. The stripe is you read by swiping it through the card reader. The data such as name, ID number, sex, and the date of birth may be contained on a magnetic strip when used as a security device to allow the entry or to a building. So, okay. How many of you in your school have attendance? What kind of attendance is there in your school? Manya?
Like they call everybody's name.
Sorry.
They call everybody's name.
Okay, they call everybody's name. And on the gate of your school, do they have any machine where you have to swipe your card or something?
No, sir.
Okay.
But teachers, when teachers enter the school, they have their that fingerprint or
Yeah.
something.
Fingerprint their attendance. Okay, so that is a biometric. But usually, what happens for students? They don't use a biometric; they use a card. Okay, usually in the many organizations also they use a card system where you have to show your card to the machine, and that machine will open the door for you. Okay, so in such a way there is a magnetic strip cards. Okay, we also have a same.
सर
Yes.
सर कोई कोई होटल्स में भी ऐसा फीचर्स होते हैं वो कार्ड हम लोग डोर के सामने लाते हैं तो वो डोर खुलता है
हाँ, right. Door के सामने you keep it, you touch the card to on the front of the door, वो जाके open हो जाता है, or you swipe that card, right? So that is your magnetic strip card. What are the different things what are the another card? It is contactless card. Contactless cards can be read from a distance and does not have to be swiped through a card reader. Okay, so if you have seen any new advertisement of debit cards, okay, so in that process they don't swipe through the card, they just show it to the screen. Okay, show it to the screen of the card reader or to the wallet kind of thing. Okay, so in that way it is a contactless card. The contactless technology can be used in credit card and debit card, for example, to speed up payment in a shop, right? Nowadays we don't swipe card, we just show it to the payment machine. Okay, but they can also be used as a security device. If a card is in the wallet or a pocket, as the owner of the card walks through the security gate, reader either side of the gate quickly scan the security data stored on the tag chip embedded in the card. Access will only be allowed if the scanned data matches with the data in the database. So other kind of card is contact card. What happens with contactless card? You don't have to swipe the card. You just have to show it to the machine, and that machine will collect the data from it. Okay, so such kind of card are known as contactless cards. Some ID card also uses a holographic image, a hologram. These are designed to make a forgery of the card more difficult. The holographic image change color or appear to have moving object when the image is viewed from the different angle. As these are difficult to make it stop somebody, for example, simply photocopying a card and using it legal. The theory behind hologram was, sorry, okay. So what is a hologram? Hologram is a sticker, yeah, and on the sticker there is a picture which changes color, whenever you see from different angle. If you see it, okay, if you see it from the different angle, it will change the color. So that was the object of that was a idea behind creating a holographic image, so that whenever you duplicate that image you cannot able to do it very easily. Okay, and it is very difficult to make a duplicate of a holographic image. Hence holographic images are used in some IDs. Okay, usually you will find this holographic image on the results. Getting it? So on the result you might find a holographic image on it, so that to check that it is a proper original image, not an duplicate image. Okay, so if you guys having any kind of result with you, okay, you can you can see there will be a holographic sticker on it. Okay, then we have another form of security is to have a photographic image of the card user printed on the card surface. A passport make use of some of the technology described above. Many passport contain RFID tag or chip, a photograph, and the holographic image. Okay, so how many of you have a passport with them, or a passport in they have a passport at their home? Okay, Prathamesh, Manya, what about Manya? You have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for okay, so on that also you have your image on it and a holographic sticker. Okay, how things works with the passport. Okay, passport, how there is a security, we have to say it. The passport page contain the photograph is placed face down, and on the reader you have your photograph placed on the passport. A microchip embedded in the page is now read by the reader, and the facial image on the passport is also scanned in. So that photo is nothing but a scanned image of your original face. The owner of the passport now look at the digital camera and the photograph is taken. That photograph is converted into digital format so that it can be compared to the face scanned facial image. The data rate from the microchip is also compared to the data stored on the central database. If both of the thing that matches, then only we are given permission to sit in the plane. Okay, otherwise it won't able to access it. Okay, getting this authentication, guys. If everybody has understood, give me a thumbs up. Sushil, सुशील
Yes, sir.
समझ में आया
Yes, sir.
authentic what is authentication, how passport authentication works?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll be moving towards another topic, that is your viruses. Okay, I guess we have at least a, a small idea about virus since we are in the pandemic, right? There is a virus which known as COVID-19 or coronavirus. You are not able to see it, but still we have to take a prevention from it, right? We have to take prevention. We do precautions. Yeah. So so virus, just like in the real world, the virus is say similar. Such similar kind of virus is seen on your computer as well, right? So we will talk about the virus with electronic way as well as in the real way, in the real world system. Okay, so this section in detail in chapter 8, we will also find the same details in chapter 8, but for now this section consider how the risk of virus can be minimized when using the internet or any situation where the data is transferred from the computer to other computer or other electronic device. It is important to point out that a tablet or a mobile phone will be affected by the virus. Any electronic device with a storage capability can be affected by the virus attack. So what it says that there is a virus, there are different kind of virus that will hamper, that will affect our computer. And how will it will affect, how it transfer from one computer to another computer through any electronic device, right? It can affect through internet, it can affect through your pen drive, it can affect through your CD. So if you guys are giving any files to your friend or to your someone you know, so you better have a check. You better check that the virus, that the file that you're transferring does not contains any virus. Getting it? So it is more important to be to take precautions from the virus. Okay, how does to whom this virus affects? So it's this virus affects everyone. Just in coronavirus, right? The coronavirus affects every individual. Yeah, whether you are weak, whether you are strong, right? Whether you are child, whether you are aged person or an adult. Yeah, so such such kind of viruses, just like in real world, affect everyone. The the viruses of the electronic device affect every electronic device, any electronic device which has the capability to store the data. Okay, how the way of preventing or minimizing the risk of viruses are, how can we uh, minimize or eliminate the prevent the risk from getting into our system, is by having an antivirus software, right? Antivirus software does, what does it do? the antivirus software runs in the background. Okay, it won't affect us normal working. It will run in the background, and it will check for all the files inside our computer. Once it checks all our file, if he find any file that contains a virus or that might be a virus, it will suggest us to delete it. Okay, so once we delete the file, there will be no virus involved. Okay, or it will place the virus, it will place the file that is affected by a virus by keeping it outside our normal system. Getting it? Okay. So what does antivirus software does? Running antivirus software in the background of the computer will constantly check for virus attack. It will constantly check for our files that contains a virus. Although various type of antivirus software works in different way, they all have the following common feature. They check the software or the file before they are run or loaded on a computer. Okay, so whenever you are dealing with antivirus, it will run and loaded on the computer. Antivirus software compare a possible attack against the database of the known viruses. Okay, so the viruses he knows, he will check for only those viruses. The viruses does not know, he will not check that virus. They carry out heuristic checking. This is checking of the software for type of their behavior that could indicate a possibly virus. This is a useful if the software is infected by a virus not yet on the database. Yeah, so such kind of files, they perform some, they have some behavior with them. They have some type of indication on them, just like in the normal, in the real world system, right? If you if any person has a coronavirus attack in him, he will have a headache, he will have some kind of fever, or he will have some difficulty of breathing, right? So that are all the symptoms of the COVID-19 coronavirus. Same way, the viruses inside your computer will also have some kind of symptoms. So what antivirus do? It will check for the same symptom. Once it files, any possible file or program that are infected are put into quarantine. Like, just like the real world example, you keep the affected person in a quarantine. In the same way, we also keep in an electronic world, we keep the file in a quarantine. Okay, allow the virus to be automatically deleted once once it found that the file contains virus, we have to delete it. Another way is allow the user to make the decision about deletion, right? You can ask the person to whether you want to delete that file or not. Okay. It is possible that the user know that the user to make a decision about deletion. It is possible that the user know that the file or program is not affected by a virus. This is known as positive, false positive, and is one of the disadvantage of the antivirus software. What happens over here is the user who is using the computer will check whether is really a virus. Sometimes some mistakes also done by the softwares. Okay, so it will check whether it is really a virus, and if it is not, then it will keep that file. Okay, antivirus software need to be kept up to date since new viruses are constantly being discovered. We have to keep on keep on updating our antivirus, so that even if the new viruses are found, you can able to prevent it. System full system check need to be carried out once a week. You have to check all the file in your computer, since some viruses lie dormant and would only be picked up by this full system scan. Okay, so there are two ways in which you can have a virus in your PC, in your desktop, or in your any electronic device. One, by using the internet. If you are using the internet, there might be a chances of having a virus in your electronic devices. So it is very important to use a secured website. Okay, how can we find a secure website? We can find a secure website by searching for a particular tag, and that tag is known as HTTPS. I've seen this red color. You have to search for this word HTTPS at the beginning of the IP address, and you have to search for this symbol. Okay, getting it? So these are some of the things that you have to check while accessing any website. Okay, if these kind of things are not there, if such kind of labels are not available on that piece, on that website, then there might be a chances of getting a virus attack. Okay, you should not it is not as advisable to open an email, right? So it is very important not to open email as it is from the unknown sources. You should not open the email from the unknown sources. Especially the best form of defense against malicious behavior when making the use of internet is to apply common sense. Okay, so it is better to not to open the email from people we don't know. Okay, then what about viruses from the hardware devices? Yeah, even the hardware devices are can transfer the virus. Okay, different kind of pen drives, DVD, CDs. Yeah, we give to each other, then that might be contains any virus. So whenever you are giving or taking any file from your friend through pen drive or CD or disk or any other electronic device, you should first check for the virus in it. Getting it? Okay. Data Protection Act. Okay. So why do we need to protect the data? Guys, any one of you can tell me why do we need to protect the data? Prathamesh.
Sir, we have to protect the data so that it can't be used against us, or we can't be like threatened because of it.
Okay.
Also, for example, if we have a company, and then if one of the previous employees was to change the data, then there could be problems within the company, and that would like bring a lot of loss.
Okay. How many of you have a Instagram account? Okay, Manya has an Instagram account. Sushil has an Instagram account. Okay. Okay, Sabrish also have. Okay. So, do you think your Instagram photos, your Instagram pictures are safe? Do you think that your Instagram profile should also be protected, or it should not be protected? Sushil, प्रोटेक्शन होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए? Sushil, I can't hear you.
सर होना चाहिए
क्यों होना चाहिए?
सर क्योंकि अगर हम to protect our data and our to protect our data
Okay, Manya, can you explain me why should we have a protection for our Instagram?
We should have a protection because if there will be no protection, then the hackers can hack our account.
Okay, how many of you have Instagram account and it is protected? The unknown user cannot able to see your uh, images. Manya has a protected account. Then Sushil also have. Okay. What about Prathamesh? Jatan?
Sir, I'm not on.
Okay, you're
I'm
not.
not on Instagram.
Good, good. What about Jatan? Instagram पे है Jatan? Okay, nice. Okay. So basically is we should have some data protection. We should able to protect our data. Why? The data must be fairly and lawfully processed. Okay, whatever you're having a data, right? Your picture is a data. Your profile picture is a data. Anything on the Facebook is your data. You are creating it, so you are fully responsible of that data. Okay, so that data should be used fairly. Okay, whatever you are having it, whatever data you are having on Facebook or any social media platform, you should always be you should always protect your data. Okay, so there must be some protection act. Most country has some form of data protection act. These are designed to protect individual and to prevent incorrect or inaccurate data being stored, right? So there might be a chance that uh, your image on the Instagram can be used for any malicious or any unlawful practices. Okay, so it is one kind of protection from it, right? So that you should able to protect your data. Essential data protection acts are set up to protect the right of the individual whom data is obtained, stored, and processed. And any such act applies to both computerized and the paper record. Like we can store the paper in your file and kept it secure, but if it is on the computer, right, and if it is on the social media or any other or on the internet, then it is very difficult to protect it. The hackers might in some way or another might able to get that data. Okay, so it is very important to have such protection act where it helps the user to protect its data. Many data protection acts are based on 8 principles. Okay, so what are those 8 principles? The first principle, it says data must be fairly and lawfully processed. Whatever data you are generating should be fairly and lawfully processed. Data can only be processed for the stated purpose, right? Second principle says that the data can be only be processed for a stated purpose. You're posting anything on the Instagram by yourself, right? The other person should not able to take that image and make it something and make and transfer it something into any other thing. Like nowadays we have a memes, right? We have a memes, so that meme are to some point it's okay, but if you're doing it with every another person, then it is unlawful. Okay, so we have last 1 minute remaining. Okay, we will continue about this in the next session and we'll also look at the practicals. Okay guys, getting it?
Or same link.
Yeah, same link.
Okay, sir.
Okay.